For many weeks, the two plants looked almost identical. They sat side by side in the same window. Each morning, sunlight touched their leaves at the same angle. Each evening, the room slowly cooled as the day ended. Nothing seemed unusual about them. Both plants had been growing slowly for quite some time. Their leaves stayed small. New growth was hard to notice. If a leaf appeared, it took many days to open fully. Many indoor gardeners have seen this before. A plant is alive and stable, but it does not seem very eager to grow. At first, the gardener did not worry. Slow growth indoors is very common. Light changes through the seasons, temperatures shift. Plants adjust quietly to their environment. So the gardener continued caring for them in the same simple way. The pots stayed the same. The soil stayed the same. Water was given only when the soil felt dry. Weeks passed like this. Then something interesting began to happen. One morning, the gardener noticed that one of the plants looked slightly stronger. The newest leaf seemed a little firmer. The color appeared a deeper shade of green. At first, it was easy to think nothing had changed. But 2 days later, the difference became clearer. A small new leaf had started forming at the tip of the stem. The growth point looked active again. Meanwhile, the second plant looked almost exactly the same as before. It was still healthy enough, but the slow pace had not changed. This made the gardener pause. Both plants had the same light, the same watering schedule, the same soil and container. Yet one plant had suddenly begun to grow faster. Oh, the gardener thought carefully about the previous few days. Had the watering changed? No. Had the plant been moved closer to the window? No. Had the soil been replaced? Not at all. Then the gardener remembered something small. A tiny addition had been made a few days earlier. It was not fertilizer from a store. It was not a complicated plant food mixture. It was simply something from the kitchen. Only one of the plants had received it. At first, the gardener did not expect it to matter very much. Most people assume that faster plant growth requires special fertilizers or complex products. But many experienced growers have noticed something interesting over the years. Sometimes a very small household ingredient can gently support plant growth. This idea may sound surprising at first. See, plants often seem delicate and complicated. Garden centers sell many different products promising stronger leaves or faster growth. But plants have always grown in natural environments long before these products existed. In nature, soil is full of organic materials slowly breaking down. Leaves fall to the ground. Small organisms in the soil break them apart. Nutrients slowly return to the earth. Plants absorb these nutrients through their roots over time. Inside our homes, however, the situation is quite different. Indoor plants live in containers. The soil inside those containers stays mostly the same for long periods. Sometimes the same soil remains in a pot for a year or more. During that time, the plant continues absorbing nutrients. Little by little, some of those nutrients become less available. The plant does not immediately become unhealthy. Instead, growth simply slows down. Leaves appear less often. New stems grow more slowly. Many gardeners see this slow growth and assume the plant needs more water or a larger pot. Sometimes that is true. But in many cases, the plant may simply be missing the small natural nutrients that outdoor soil usually provides. Understanding this difference helps explain what the gardener noticed with the two plants. The small kitchen ingredient added earlier had introduced a gentle source of natural minerals. Nothing dramatic happened at first. But as the soil absorbed those nutrients, the plant roots slowly detected the change. Roots are very sensitive to their environment. They explore the soil carefully. Tiny root tips absorb water and dissolve nutrients. When those nutrients become available again, even in small amounts, the plant often responds quietly. Growth points wake up. Leaves begin forming again. The plant simply resumes the pace it prefers when conditions are balanced. In many kitchens, the ingredient used in this example ends up in the trash almost every day. Gardeners, however, often save it. It is simple, natural, and familiar to most households. For generations, home gardeners have found ways to reuse it instead of throwing it away. This common kitchen scrap contains small amounts of potassium and other helpful minerals. Potassium plays an important role in plant growth. It supports the development of leaves and helps plants manage water within their tissues. When potassium is available in gentle amounts, plants often grow with more balance and strength. Yes, that is why gardeners sometimes use this kitchen ingredient as a mild, natural addition to soil. Many experienced gardeners add small pieces to compost piles. Others soak it briefly in water to create a very light nutrient mixture. There are many simple approaches, but what surprises beginners is not the method itself. It is how quickly some plants seem to respond. After adding this ingredient in small amounts, gardeners sometimes begin noticing subtle changes after a few days. At first, nothing appears different. The leaves look the same. The stems remain still. But then small signs appear. A new leaf tip forms. A growth node looks fuller. The plant stands slightly stronger. This does not mean the plant suddenly doubles in size overnight. Plants rarely grow that dramatically. Instead, the plant simply begins growing more steadily. It returns to a healthier rhythm. This happens because the soil environment has been gently enriched. The roots absorb nutrients slowly and naturally. Once those nutrients become available again, growth resumes in a calm and balanced way. For many gardeners, this moment leads to an important realization. Plants do not always need big solutions. Sometimes they simply need small, natural support. However, it is also important to understand that not every home will see the same results. Indoor environments vary widely. Some homes receive bright sunlight for many hours each day. In these spaces, plants already have strong energy for growth. When additional nutrients appear, the plant may respond quickly. Other homes receive softer or indirect light. In these environments, our plants grow more slowly no matter what is added to the soil. Temperature also plays a role. Warm rooms encourage active roots. Cooler rooms slow plant metabolism. Humidity matters as well. Dry air can make plants conserve energy, while moderate humidity supports steady growth. All of these factors work together. Plants are always responding to their full environment, not just one ingredient. This explains why some gardeners report strong results, while others notice only small changes. Both experiences are normal. Plants are living systems, and every home provides slightly different conditions. Because of this, experienced gardeners follow a simple rule when using natural kitchen ingredients. A light touch is best. Too much organic material can upset the balance of the soil. Large amounts may attract insects or hold too much moisture. Small amounts are enough. Often, a single gentle addition is all that is needed. Then the gardener simply watches and waits. Observation becomes the most valuable tool. Plants communicate in quiet ways. Their leaves show color changes. Growth points appear or pause. Soil dries at different speeds depending on conditions. When gardeners learn to watch these signals, plant care becomes much easier. Instead of reacting quickly to every small change, they move slowly and thoughtfully. A leaf drooping today might simply reflect yesterday's temperature or light. A plant growing slowly might only need a small boost of nutrients. Over time, gardening becomes less about constant effort and more about quiet understanding. So the gardener in our story continued watching the two plants by the window. The one that received the kitchen ingredient kept producing new growth. The difference remained gentle but clear. The second plant still grew slowly, but it was stable. This small comparison reminded the gardener of something many plant lovers eventually learn. Healthy plants often respond best to small, careful changes. Big actions are rarely needed. If you're comfortable sharing, I'm curious about something simple. Have you ever reused kitchen scraps to help your plants grow? Many gardeners discover these small ideas through experience and quiet experimentation. And often the biggest lesson plants teach us is patience. Because sometimes the garden improves not when we try to do more and more, but when we pause, observe carefully, and allow the plant to grow in its own natural rhythm. Sometimes the garden improves when we simply step back and observe.